Hi, Mr. Brown.
Something, tell the man something.
You're muted.
Is true versus what he's been told.
You're still muted.
Hello,
how are you?
Oh, wonderful. Did you send me your conflict interest form back?
I'll mail it back tomorrow, Ms. Black. I'm sorry.
All right, that's all right. I knew I was going to ask you tonight.
I know you would. Your attorney Lowell Sala passed, and I was out of town and work, and I'm sorry, but I have it. Thank you.
All right, that's good. We all live streaming on YouTube now, so it's 5:58. I'm gonna give it one more minute, and I'm gonna hit the record button.
Great.
But we're the only two here.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Amy.
Howdy.
Hello. I didn't get a chance to speak to you today, but I saw you talking to Regina.
Oh yeah. It was a great day.
I'm glad you came.
Me too. I think I'm almost positive I've mentioned it on this call before, but the organization where my full-time job is part of that people plan. So we're like the food security lead on that. And so yeah, I was invited to that as part of my real job. And just, I can't wait to start serving those residents. I'm like, can it be done yet? It'll be a little minute though.
I am glad you came and joined us today though. It is now 6 o'clock. I'm going to hit the record button. Hello, Leo.
Hi, Juliet. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Can you tell me, do I do the roll call or do you?
I do it.
Okay, thank you so much. We just finished one event and I'm actually on this meeting and getting ready to go to another meeting at 6:30. So I'm going to be back and forth, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
So I'm going to hit my record button and I appreciate you doing it. Hello, Seth.
Hello, how are you doing this evening?
Wonderful, thank you. Amy, do not eat in front of me. I have not had a chance to eat anything but cheese and crackers today.
What did I have this morning? I had something earlier today, but I have been like a crazy woman today too, like you. So we had our food collection this morning where we got like 5,000 pounds of food. I was like, I have no idea where this food's gonna go. We're just like throwing it on the floor. I was like, I have no idea what to do. And then so I'm all sweaty, had to run home and get showered to go to the event at 5:19. And it was like, oh my gosh, am I ever gonna have a chance to like think?
I understand. Good afternoon, Brian and Rachel.
Hey, how's everyone doing?
Doing great.
Good
It's a
evening.
beautiful day in the great state.
You all missed a wonderful event today.
I know, sad I didn't go to it. I forgot to RSVP, then I didn't want to show up just having not RSVP'd for
That's half of the city of Durham. That was half of our attendees were non-RSVPs, so you could have came.
Oh, well, now I feel doubly bad then.
Yes. So Amy, you can chime in after Reginald give his little spiel today. Good afternoon.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Good.
Okay, it's 6:02, guys. We got to do better about these meetings starting on time.
Is Mr. Johnson going to be able to join us, or is he still coming back from the
No, he actually left the office before me, so he should be joining. I just talked to him, so I'm getting ready to call him right now. Hold on.
Juliet, this may just be me, but I think part of the problem is that on my Zoom invitation, it says that it starts at 6:30.
No.
That
One
may
of them, one of them did say 6:30, and then the others, the follow-ups were 6 o'clock.
6, yeah. So I don't know, maybe it's just an old thing that didn't sync right with my calendar. I'm like, I know when the meeting is, but hopefully.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
I'll double check. I'll double check that because we want everybody to be here at 6 o'clock.
Ahmed too, yeah. Oh no.
Which one was the reminder today? Which one came out today?
I think today was 6.
Yeah.
Mine-
we
Yeah,
were
the one that came out
looking at
I've
last
today.
week
received
that said 6:30.
Yeah, I received 2 that said 6 p.m.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's Mr. Johnson right there.
Yeah, the
Okay.
reminder was saying 6 for me, but like the event, I think where we originally saved it, at least for like to Google Calendar. Is still
You're right. At the
6:30.
beginning, it did. I think we did have to go back and make some corrections. So I'll make sure we send out the correct link though.
Perfect.
Yeah, the final one said 6. Everyone should have seen that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and everybody should know what time the meeting start by now too. Hello again, Mr. Johnson.
Hello, greetings. Hope everybody's doing well.
Yes. How many we need for a quorum?
I think it's see, 7.
We have 12 members because Levon came off.
Should be 7 members then for quorum. If we have 12. 'Cause I think it's half
Oh, you
plus
got
one.
it. 1, 2.
Yeah, it's 1+1.
You got a quorum.
Awesome. In that case, then I will call this meeting to order. I know we have a fairly short meeting today. I know Reginald and Juliet, you've been pretty busy and running around all week, so I don't want to keep you all long. So yeah, I'll call to order, and I'll just ask Leah to do attendance real quick.
Yeah. All right. And again, if I'm saying your name wrong, please do correct me. I think I've got everyone who's on the call, but so Ahmed Ali.
Here.
All right. Robert Brown,
Here.
Rachel Everhard,
Here,
myself here, Amy Jones,
Here.
Brian Langloss,
Here.
Anne Rebeck, Richard LeBennett, Seth Candle. I saw your lips move, Seth. It's all good. And Carl Newman.
There we go. Here.
All right. Perfect. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Leah. All right. So first things first is going to just be approving the minutes from last meeting. So I know Leah should have sent those out. So hopefully everyone had a chance to look at them real quick. And if there are no comments or concerns or anything, we'll take a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve.
And then do we have a
I'll
Seconded.
second.
second? Thank you. In that case then, with no further comments or adjustments to the minutes, we'll just do a voice vote. So all those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. And they are approved then. The next thing is Reginald has an update for the community development department based on kind of everything that they've had going on that he's been kind of keeps getting pushed back the last few meetings. So I'm going to turn it over to Reginald to.
Mr. Chair, what's the next item on the agenda?
So I was gonna. I have the you talking about the implementation grant, approving the bylaw edits that Julia noticed.
Yes, can we go to that item? I just need to catch my breath for a minute.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, that's all. I can come back to it. I just need to catch my breath. I'm just walking in.
Yeah, I can go through kind of everything else, then we'll come back to you and to wrap it up.
That'd be great.
So yeah, we'll skip ahead to some slight edits to the bylaws that Juliet noticed that we needed. Mostly it's going to be the address we meet at, and then some kind of grammatical catches that she found in here. The one thing I did notice, Juliet, is the Article 1 edit, you update to name and officers, and it should just be name and offices. But other than that, I'm happy with the updates you caught.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that again? It should be name and what?
Offices for the Article
Okay.
1 title, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, does anyone else have any comments or suggestions for edits?
Just the Article 12 where we changed the date in that article to reflect today's date.
Yeah, it'll be highlighted. I assume that's why Juliet has it highlighted
Right.
at the very end, is to make sure to, we'll update it to today's date for reflecting the changes.
The motion to approve.
Yeah, and hearing a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
One of these days I'm gonna
Don't worry.
The race of who can get off mute first.
All right. In that case, we will vote to approve the edits to the bylaws. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. All right. They are approved. Thank you again, Juliet, for catching that. The other thing I wanted to do before we'll turn it over to Reginald is I wanted to let everyone know, one, our previous chair, Levon, is going to be moving out of the county, so he's officially leaving the committee. But along with that, he also was serving as our committee's liaison to the Affordable Housing Implementation Committee. He had been serving that as the previous chair. He had been filling that liaison position. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make the meetings for that other committee, so I won't be able to fill in. Leah has offered to do that, but it's also, I want to let the committee as a whole know it is an open position, so if anyone wants to apply for it, you are welcome to. So I just wanted to let that people know about that. But as mentioned, yeah, Leah's volunteered to take over and be our eyes and ears there, and report back to us as things develop over there. So thank you, Leah, for that, and thank you anyone else who's interested and wants to apply for it. Other things on here, I don't see any members of the public on the call, so we don't have any public questions or comments. And then that is back to you, Reginald. That's as much as I can delay.
Oh, and that's enough. I thank you, and I appreciate it. I probably, for Juliet and myself, were probably a little bit too ambitious in thinking we could pull both of these off today. But nonetheless, we're here and we do the best that we can. But I just wanted to share two major things with you. One of them, and I appreciate the time to catch my breath. It's been a long day. And I'll tell you, so what happened today was that the Choice Neighborhoods HUD staff from Washington, D.C., Atlanta, and Greensboro all came to Durham to have the official announcement that we were receiving the $40 million Choice Neighborhood Implementation Grant. And so we, along with the Housing Authority, organized an event for 2:30 this afternoon on the grounds of 519 East Main Street, which was the formerly named Odom Towers. And so we had a tent out there, and Dominique Bloom, who's like a number 2 person at HUD, flew in from Washington to officially tell us. And so we had a program with the mayor, Congressman Price. I was emceeing the event, and we also had a resident of 519 East Main, as well as Anthony Scott, the CEO of the Housing Authority. And it was a great turnout. I think we had at least one member of the CAC that was present. So I was glad to see that and talk with her, and hope she thought the event was a nice event. But it was really good turnout. After the event, the formal program where everyone spoke, there was a tour of the site for Secretary Bloom and the HUD staff. And so we had a bus and took her so she could actually see the site. And then all the area, including all the different sites, Fayette Place, Hayti, Liberty Street, which we were right next to Liberty Street. Then also went into South Side, so she could see other work that was going that was kind of outside the area, Hayti Heritage Center and those sorts of things. We actually got out of the bus and went inside of J.J. Henderson. As you remember, that J.J. Henderson is being totally rehabbed. That's the tower that's for senior citizens. That's by the ballpark, and then we also got a chance to see the Joyce and the other building that's going up as well. And so we got out and looked at those, and she was very impressed with the work that we're doing. And talk a little bit about the grant. Of course, we'll have Mrs. Scott to give us an update at some point, and maybe sooner rather than later. We have a meeting tomorrow with the city as well as the Housing Authority, because we have 60 days to launch. And so the development team has set a meeting for tomorrow, so that's going to be off to the races. But there's $40 million. The bulk of the money is going to go to help fill gaps on the demolishment of Liberty, as well as 519 East Main Street. That's the tower. Then there's also going to be part of the funds goes to focus on people as well as neighborhoods. And so where the neighborhood goes from downtown and goes across the freeway into Hayti, and there are development partners that work on the people side with programs for people who live in the area, as well as some work for the redevelopment of the Hayti Heritage Center itself, and working on a walking trail that leads from Hayti into downtown. That's part of the funding as well. So it focuses on housing, neighborhoods, and people. And so we're one of 44 applicants that were awarded these grants. Ours is two $40 million cities and two $50 million cities. And so we're very pleased about that. So today was a big day. Juliet, of course, coordinated all of the logistics, and she was just in the building. I think she's probably made it home now after coordinating. We're cleaning up everything and overseeing vendors. And of course, I'm just wrapping up from the tour. So that's the reason we were a little out of breath, I guess you could say. But I just wanted to at least give that update for everyone. That is good. It's a big deal. For many of you, but you may not know, because I'm looking at everybody who's on here, that we received the Housing Authority received a planning grant from the HUD. They were competitive in that, but this was about 10 years ago. The planning grant is a grant where you plan in the hopes of eventually doing the application. I think it's about 10 years since it's passed, since they had the planning grant. But finally, the Housing Authority was able to be successful in getting an implementation grant, which is the big dollars. And what I'll conclude by saying is that the city was partners, co-applicants, because the Housing Authority, because of some technical reasons, couldn't apply by themselves. They had to have the city to apply with them according to HUD rules, and that's the reason we're joint applicants. So the city has a major role to play and also some deliverables, including community development, some other departments as part of the grant. So, we can talk more about the details as we go along because it's going to be rolling pretty fast. But I just wanted to share that. That's what happened today, and I'll entertain any questions.
Yeah, I think that's great news to hear that you were able to secure that. And you said tomorrow's like the first meeting for like actual coordinating the.
Yes, for the internal team of multiple. So it's not just community development. It also includes planning and transportation with the city, as well as I think Parks and Rec and a couple of other departments. But also the housing authority itself. And we have the housing authority had hired a consultant to help with the application. And they're worth their weight in gold because they delivered. But we have the first meeting tomorrow because we have 60 days to start the implementation, and HUD will be down here for a day and a half to meet with us within that 60 days.
Is it any, because I'm late to this process, and it's, when you're late, you don't have answers and you have to ask questions that are, because you don't have answers. But is there any part of that that's related to safety for the areas as well? And I'm gonna just get straight to the point. I'm always concerned about that part of Durham, and as it leans towards South Austin from downtown, and what's being done about safety.
Yeah, safety is a part. I can't speak to that right off the top of my head, but the police is our partners in the plan. Okay. One of the issues involve lighting, the increase of lighting. If you think about Hayti Heritage Center on Fayetteville Street, going from that area, going across 147, going all the way where it changes to Elizabeth, then you go down East Main. Of course, when you get to that point, that's where the Odom and Liberty, Odom Towers of 519 East Main, right. and that. So it's some lighting that goes on there as well. What we have to do, the city community development specifically, is that we have to commit $1.5 million of community development block grant funds, I think for 3 years, to do some work. It doesn't have to be part of the work, but it has to be invested in that area in some CDBG eligible way, community development block grant in it way. One way that we've already done some resources, just to give example with CDBG, is there's a pedestrian signal that's just at Hayti, crossing Fayetteville Street. That was actually used with funds from community development.
Okay. What about as far as going back towards McDougal Terrace, starting there, going back down South Austin towards Fayetteville and that arena?
So it's not going to go over as far as the boundaries, and we can talk about this when we produce. Actually, I'll work with the Housing Authority to send you a map beforehand, but it doesn't stretch that far in terms of the boundaries of the area. It stretches as far as Fayetteville, the Fayetteville Street corridor, where the business corridor is, Fayette Place.
I get that part.
Yeah,
it's just my concern as we are getting funds in to do things in Durham that are good things. That we know that area has high crime rate, lots of problems over there, and something that is just in my opinion is a good thing is lighting, but as small as lighting, even if just as money comes into our community, I think would be a good thing.
Yes.
So you hear me ask questions about this a lot. I'm always going to focus there and then come back toward downtown, because that's just a really part of town, I think, that we just can't, I'm not going to say overlooked, but that's a problem area right now. Right. All right. Well, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, and can keep the questions coming.
Right.
I mean, you're exactly correct. The challenge that we have, and that I have to explain, is that resources don't stretch everywhere,
right,
at all at one time, and neither does the program guidelines. One of the things about this CNI, though it's a national program, it is focused on city projects, or not city as in city government, but cities projects that are already ongoing.
Right.
And it's not just government funds, the private investment, which is one of the factors and one of the partners in this particular grant. If you look at when you cross Fayetteville Street, cross 147, there's a lot of private investment that's getting ready to go in there that counted to our benefit.
Well, one of the key drivers in me asking these types of questions is there is, from Pettigrew Street, there's a canal or waterfall that runs that way from Pettigrew to South Austin. I'm just going to use that as a demarcation line. And I know personally from family experience over the years from the late 1950s, and we are in 2022, that there've been lots of requests from the community for help over there. If you use that waterfall, that creek as an example from that place, and the city of Durham is in a much better place today with your leadership, your team, and all that's going on with money that's coming in to hear the way we can help. And I'm not specifically talking about that creek. I'm going back to my issue with some help in that area, because what's happened since 1959, I'll say 59, and I know that there have been multiple requests for things to occur over there that, it just don't happen because of the money's going to other projects. And we have such a large amount of resources at this point. And that's when I go back to lighting. Lighting is, you go to larger cities like Baltimore, New York, it's lit up. You go over there, we've changed the lighting, but there are no additional poles. We have money now. You got a project that's going to spend money on Fayetteville Street, which is less than a mile away. So I just want to know if we can start to look over there before you and I and this committee are going on to greener pastures. There's another group coming behind us with the same issue.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I hear you.
A couple of thoughts on the safety issue at these two properties specifically. So again, this grant is focused on these two properties. There are some other projects like at the Hayti Heritage Center or whatever. But so for one, 519 East Main is almost literally across the street from the police station. I know that doesn't mean a whole lot, but it is almost right across the street from it. And at McDougald, that is a Durham Housing Authority property that's largely housing families. So there's lots of people in their 20s, 30s, 40s living there. Whereas 519 East Main, that's a building for seniors and people with disabilities. And so just in general, I can't recall exactly what went into this proposal in terms of what we were committing to for safety, but it is a little bit of a different arena for the properties that are being addressed by this proposal. Not that we shouldn't address what's going on at McDougald, and we should absolutely do that, but it's just this grant is you have to use the money what you promised you would use it for.
I totally get it. I've written community grants before. I understand. But as you have the ability to, maybe ask for some additional funding for a particular reason, I don't want us to lose sight that we have the ability to do that. And I say that only because I can give you, a roadmap to how many times that area has been neglected, and it's obvious today. Even not about the housing issue, not about the roads, anything like that. Just basic, we have a problem in that area, and anything that we can do, just 10 poles, anything to light that area up to get the criminals away. If there's a way to maybe amend this once all of the money's been allocated, or take a look at it, because this is one of the things I was talking about, on the first meeting, that it's special to me being a Durham resident. And knowing the history from Riddle Road to that area to Fayetteville Street, from the 50s to now, that there's just really been nothing thrown over there. at all. But anyway, I won't get on the soapbox. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
I'll say too, like I was over at McDougal for National Night Out, which was the day after the first break-in at TA Grady, and then the second one happened the day after. And I was just talking to Ashley. I'm like, what is it? First of all, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's 2 break-ins at TA Grady where everything was destroyed. Like nothing is salvageable over there anymore. It was kids. And I was like, oh, like teenagers? She's like, no. Like 8-year-olds and 10-year-olds were the ones who did that vandalism. And, you know, I just was like, what's the answer? Like, what is the solution here? And she, without like even a pause, she said, it's drugs and mental health. If we can solve drugs and mental health, we can solve this. And so then we were there for National Night Out. Sure enough, the parents are all showing up strung out on drugs. I mean, people were like falling on the ground. They couldn't even stand up straight because they were strung out on drugs. And Ashley's like, these are the parents of these kids.
Well,
And so, I mean, like Ashley knows how to fix it in McDougal if we can address drugs and mental health.
well, true, but that's a whole nother issue. Mine is more of infrastructure while the ability is there, because
Yeah.
and I'll give you an example. I don't think it. Well, I know I wouldn't tonight drive over there and just sit on the street over there, you know, because we're lighting it. But anyway, we won't talk about. I won't keep this soapbox going. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for both of you for your insights there. Yeah, I know it's tough. There's a lot of areas of Durham that have been neglected, and we don't want to kind of perpetuate that. But yeah, thank you, Reginald, for the update. Did you want to do the community development update today, or?
No, I do want to share one other thing, and then we'll have to, I don't know if you've ever had occasion where you run out of gas.
Yeah.
So I'm out of gas, but I am going to share my screen. And you all probably should have received a notice about the caper that is on display. When I say on display, it's being advertised to the public. The caper is basically the report card that we have to show every year on the work that we've accomplished and all of the metrics. And so we have to go before it gets approval from the council, and there's a public hearing on it, and it goes to HUD for their review. It has to be on public display, which it is now. It's on our website. What I want to do is encourage people to just look at it, where it talks about the different areas of the work that we do and that we have done, and what we have done and where. And so for those who want to know, what we've been doing, I suggest that you take a look at that. And, of course, we can talk about it if you have any questions, but it's, the document is actually 34 pages long. And I would encourage you to read it, at least thumb through it. But it's on our website. So it's called the caper, and it's on review now. So I'll stop there. So for those who want to know and have questions about, well, what did they do? Or what are we doing?
I believe everyone should have gotten an email for it as well. When did it go out? I feel like I saw an email for it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone on the committee should be getting the kind of updates from the community development department, that kind of series of emails. And I believe this was one of them that went out recently.
I just put the link in the chat if folks want to look at the PDF, and it'll also be in our minutes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Johnson, can you reiterate, I didn't write it down, the rest of the process? So now it's open for public viewing for 30 days. And then what does the rest of it look like?
And there's a public hearing on the caper. And that's
at a city council meeting?
Yes, that's at a city council meeting. I just can't give you the date right now. And then after, but it's coming up rather quickly. And then what we do is we have to send that to HUD, and it's in draft form even after the council approves it, because it doesn't become final till HUD reviews it. And then it becomes final.
Is it
But,
beneficial for committee members to attend that city council meeting for any reason?
yes, I mean, it's always good for you to hear. There may or may not be any discussion on it. But you know, it is part of the citizen review participation plan that, and we're required to do it. So I'll make sure that you know when the public hearing is coming up. But the most important thing is to read the document, or at least peruse it.
And whether it's committee members or not, everyone is always welcome on this committee to show up to any meetings and voice any concerns you have directly. You know.
That's right. No, that's right.
So yeah, don't hesitate if there's any comments you have on it or anything like that. You know, I'm sure.
Well, I think I have an ally in Amy, and I'd like to maybe get a opportunity to speak with her again before our next meeting, since she's been over to McDougal. I'd like to hear more about her experience there.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, as community members, feel free to reach out to each other if you need meet or coordinate or yeah.
With you?
What was that?
I was asking Amy if that's okay with her.
Oh.
Yeah, sure. I'm over there all the time, like at least once a week, probably.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk on this one. Thank you.
Cool. Well, yeah, that is all we had for today. Knowing that, you know, Reginald and Juliet were likely going to be at the end of a long week and needing a quick meeting and some time off. So Reginald, thank you again. Juliet, thank you again. All your work. Congratulations to both of you for the work on the implementation, affordable housing implementation grant, right?
The Choice Neighborhoods Initiative Grant.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you know it's a lot of.
There's too many acronyms going on.
CNI.
There you go. The affordable housing one's the one that was the open board position. But yeah, thank you both for all your work. Thanks to all the members for showing up, the ones who did. And I will accept a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Move to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Second. All right. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for coming. Have a great month, and we'll see you next month.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you all. Have a good evening.
All right, later.